So I thought like it's good if we do like our session. I'm gonna transfer another 400 euros to you guys. Maybe
Wow. Epic.
yeah, you can give me your PayPal for Era, so I can PayPal it over, or Wise, or anything you guys have. And that
Amazing.
way, I want to support what you guys are doing because I just love what you're doing, and I think it's very important that people like me that have a business just somewhere in the world that's going well. I'm not rich, but I'm also not poor, and it's working for
Yeah.
me. I should like give it back to the world. So, if we all do this, yeah, we've talked about this, and then the world will be like
Yeah.
such a good,
Imagine.
and we need it more than ever, with the floods here in Valencia and the floods in
Yeah.
the UK, and now in Holland there's another storm which is pretty intense. Water's really
Wow.
high at the moment in Holland. So, I think it's very normal that we as entrepreneurs or company owners, and we do something we love, that
Yes.
we take out, sacamos un poco de dinero, and we put it back into the
Yes.
planet, right? And I think
Totally.
I know what you're doing, and I know what you doing with Era is like good. It's like you guys have mostly females, I believe, working as well. Like
Yes.
really good way for me to do something back for being sort of grateful to the planet. I can just sit here in my favorite room, like for most of the days to make my money, So yeah,
I love
that,
it.
that's nice, and it's nice. I'm gonna take a few clips from this that I can put on the internet again, like we did last time. Put it on Instagram,
Yeah.
people can see. So maybe you can show me like what you've been doing, and
Yes.
I'm so
I
curious
prepared a
all the new photos.
yeah, I prepared a whole new presentation that goes through our work. So I'm gonna share my screen
Yeah, yeah, you
and
see.
then we
Oh,
can share
oh,
screen.
this is so
Okay.
cool. I'm gonna see the new results.
You're
Less
gonna
than
see the new
life.
result.
Look, I'm becoming famous.
You are, yeah. So this is a curated presentation for lessons on live that's going to go through our work. The first photo is, an agroforestry system that we planted. This we planted on this side, which was in 1 year, and then the next year we came back and we expanded. So in 1 year, the brown goes to the green. So that's the power of regeneration of the land here in Brazil. It's so rich and it's so amazing if you give it the chance to
Yeah.
come back to life.
So 1 year.
So
Yeah.
in 1 year. So yeah, ERA is a company led by women, and our mission is to regenerate our ecosystems. And we're mainly focused in Brazil. And we have three specific types of projects that we develop. We develop carbon credits through avoided deforestation projects. So we work with farmers and we pay them to keep forests standing. We work with women and generate women's empowerment credits by empowering them, giving them access to seedlings, giving them access to knowledge, capacity building, and we support them to increase their incomes. So that's another whole section of the business. And then lastly, which is new, which is something that I'm going to present today, is the biodiversity credits, which I don't think we had the last time we
I haven't
talked.
heard
So this
about
is
that
like
yet. I
a
know the first two. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So this is something we've been working on in the last year. It's biodiversity credits from jaguar habitat protection. It's a super cool project, and I'm going to talk a bit about that.
Super nice.
So I'd like to start with like our philosophy, and I think we share similar values, and that's why sort of we're having this conversation is because at the end of the day, we want to wake up in the morning for a reason, right? And we want our businesses to be good for society and be good for the environment. So your way of giving back is supporting our work. And the way we give back is by having life at the center of our mission. So life being nature, being we restore nature and we conserve nature. And as a women-led organization, women have the role of bringing life to this planet. We are literally the channelers of life to this planet of humans.
Yeah.
So therefore, I believe that women will lead the restoration of life back to this planet. And that's really sort of the philosophy of ERA of why we wake up in the morning. It's for life.
It's so
And
beautiful.
then
Yeah.
and then if we look at, there's this thing called the golden circle. So it starts with why and then it goes to how. So how do we restore life to this planet? And basically what we do is we use carbon finance, or biodiversity finance or philanthropic finance, through women's empowerment to protect forests and habitat. And this generates positive social impact. So by restoring nature and by giving communities the tools to work with nature properly, we have these amazing benefits, not only to the communities, but also sequestering carbon, improving soil, improving biodiversity. So it has all of these co-benefits and all of these amazing impacts when we just work with nature instead of against it.
Yep.
And then what? So we started with why, how, and what. So what do we actually do to restore life? So what we do is we develop these avoided deforestation projects and reforestation. So avoiding deforestation is preventing farmers from cutting down trees. And reforestation is planting trees back to areas that have been deforested.
Mhm.
So we work on these two sides of the same coin. And if we look at this slide, all of the little red dots on this map is deforestation that happened in 1 year in Brazil.
Yeah.
Just take that in. We're talking millions of hectares deforested in Brazil, mainly for agricultural purposes.
Yeah.
So we're losing forests at an alarming rate, and we need to do something to prevent that. And how do we do that? Well, we value standing forests, and the carbon markets allow us to value and put a value to standing forests. We also need to restore these areas because if we continue at this rate, it's not only going to affect Brazil's water supply, it's going to affect global climate systems. And we're already feeling that with the
Yeah.
floods happening in Valencia. It's all connected.
Mhm.
So deforestation in Brazil does have an impact globally and does impact Europe.
Yeah.
So, you know, the biome that we're working in is this one, the Cerrado biome. And then we're also working in the Pantanal biome with the conservation of the jaguars. So we're really working the center of the country, and this is the water sanctuary of the country. So there's major rivers flowing north and south. Most of Brazil water comes from this area.
Mhm.
So we're not just talking about carbon and biodiversity, we're talking about water, the principle of life.
Yeah.
So what this deforestation, it leads to a lot of different problems, right? It leads to soil erosion, it leads to carbon emissions, it leads to this horrible future that looks very apocalyptic, where
Yeah.
it's just monoculture. And worst of all, Brazil had some of the worst years in the past 2 years, 3 years. This year was terrible forest fires.
Yeah.
So all of this, the warming of the climate and the climate change is leading to, these disasters and flooding in one part of the world and it's fires in another part of the world. So we need to come together as a global community and conserve standing trees. So we need to protect everything that we have and we need to restore what's already been transformed into agriculture, into more, you know, uh, environmentally friendly agricultural systems that I'm going to get to.
Yeah.
So we launched three programs. So the first program I'm going to talk about is the avoided conversion program. So basically this is where we've worked with farmers to pay them to keep their forest standing because when the farmer deforests, that carbon that's locked up in those trees gets emitted to the atmosphere. If we pay him to keep those forests standing through the carbon markets, then he has a way of gaining money, which is what he wants, right? He has a business, a farm is a business at the end of the day. So it's providing him an economic alternative to commercial agriculture. So to date, ERA has protected 11,500 hectares for the next 40 years. That area will be protected, meaning that it will provide a home for animals. It will provide water to the local communities, and it'll provide food as well because there's a lot of food production happening. So this is a model that shows that we don't need to have agriculture be the only way of farmers creating money for their fields.
Uh,
So the next project that I want to talk about is the Women's Empowerment Credits. And this is a really fun story that started in July 2021.
yeah,
And you've been supporting this project for a while now.
yeah,
And now you will be able to see the transformation that what your money has resulted in.
yeah,
So this is a family agriculture school in Tocantins. And this school basically caters to rural youth to teach them about farming. But there was no curriculum about regenerative agriculture. It was just the standard monoculture system that they were teaching kids. And that's not going to lead to a brighter future. So what ERA did is we partnered with this school. And in 1 year, if you look at this area here with the yellow lines, you can tell that there's nothing there, right? There's just all
yeah,
degraded land. In 1 year, ERA implemented an agroforestry learning center and transformed that brown into green. And we also implemented a seedling nursery. So now the kids and the youth from this community can collect seeds on their family farms, bring these seeds to school, create little seedlings, plant these seedlings, and really create a whole regenerative economy around planting trees. And these trees provide nuts, they provide food, they provide income streams to these family farms. So
yeah,
it's a different way, it's a different future, it's a different economic paradigm that's based on the bioeconomy.
yeah, and
So our project, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and it's super sustainable because it's, it's sort of like paying for itself and it's growing. It's in a
Exactly.
circular kind of way that's the same that I donate money to you in order to help the planet, in order to keep my own business basically running because I'm not, there's nothing happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
So
amazing.
we love these positive feedback loops,
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about. Because in nature, that's what happens. There is no pollution and garbage in nature. One one species eats the other, then it degrades, then there's the fungi that break it down, and then the fungi become, inputs to the trees, and then it all circulates back around.
yeah, yeah.
So we had really positive outcomes from the project. We
Mm,
trained 516 women on agroforestry and these different regenerative agriculture techniques. We
yeah.
produced seedlings and we scaled our impact 12 times.
Wow.
So here's a picture of the agroforestry system. Here's the youth having hands-on experience, learning what's happening, learning how to manage the plant.
Wow.
And then we offer also training sessions in the classroom. We select students and we scale our impact. So we implement these agroforestry systems on their family farms. They get more hands-on experience. We actually harvested the first turmeric from our system
Uh,
and we created a women's cooperative and we purchased equipment for those women. And that equipment then allowed them to transform the root into powder and sell
uh,
that powder so that it increased their incomes.
yeah,
So this is a sustainable model based on restoring nature. That's what's so beautiful about it. So we're sequestering carbon, we're improving the soil, we're providing jobs and income, and this is the future we need to be investing in.
yeah. Wow.
Here's some
Wow.
more photos of the seedlings. This is a nursery that we partner with, so it's really exciting to see all these little trees and they're going to become big giant trees, in
Yes,
20, 30 years. I mean, it's
yes.
amazing.
And they're all like standing there, little guys, be big guys.
Exactly. Little big guys soon.
Amazing. Oh, wow.
And now I'm going to talk to you about the Brazil's first biodiversity credits that ERA was proudly unveiling at the biodiversity conference that happened this year in Cali, Colombia, which
Yeah,
reunited a lot of different, investors, project developers, philanthropists, and it was everyone coming together to talk about biodiversity
yeah,
because our entire economy and our entire well-being is based on a planet that has a diversity of species. And if that diversity of species goes down, it has severe implications on our economies, on water, on nature, on everything.
yeah,
So we need to protect and we need to value biodiversity just as much as carbon. So that's why ERA developed a methodology to create biodiversity credits. And here, look at this beautiful jaguar video.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at that. Aren't they
Yeah.
beautiful
Uh,
creatures?
yeah, very elegant also, like the
Aren't they powerful and strong?
big
The
cats.
family.
Yeah.
There's three that were captured in this video, and this was from a camera trap. So what we did is we installed different camera traps in a property of 40,000 hectares.
Hmm.
So it's a jaguar sanctuary, and it's called the Pantanal Conservation Network,
Hmm.
and it's managed by an NGO called the Instituto Homem Pantaneiro. And this institute basically works with the protection of jaguars. And they fight fires because one of the biggest threats to jaguar habitat is fires in the dry season. And they actually rescued two jaguars that were caught in a fire and they had their paws burnt. So they
Oh,
brought them back for veterinary and for health so they could get their health back.
yeah.
And they got them back. They released them back to the wild. They're also working really with anti-poaching because a lot of smallholder farmers they kill jaguars because they're threatened by them.
Ah,
So, but there's ways that you can coexist in harmony with jaguars.
yeah. Yeah.
And so the institute, the NGO, also works with communities to create these jaguar human barriers with lights, with fences. So they try to educate the communities also that poaching jaguars is illegal, that it's bad for biodiversity, and that really we should be valuing the jaguar. So over the past 3 years, there's been this amazing jaguar monitoring campaign that we've been doing, and we've identified an extra jaguar. So we had a jaguar birth, which was really exciting. So
Yeah.
we had five jaguars, and then we had six in 2023, and
Yeah.
then we generated these credits to conserve the jaguar habitat. So now you can purchase these jaguar credits and that'll go directly into the conservation of that habitat. So
Hmm.
one credit represents 1 hectare of habitat, of jaguar habitat. So
Uh,
now you can basically sponsor your own jaguar hectare and be a jaguar guardian.
that's
Uh,
cool. Yeah.
so that's that. So if you scan that code down there, it'll take you to the platform that you can buy directly from the platform. And I invite everyone to go check it out. You can learn more about the project,
Yeah.
and we're really really excited about that project. So yeah, that's basically all of the updates I had. I kind of gave a condensed version, but you can go on our website. There's a link there, and there's lots more information about our work. We're also really active on Instagram, era underscore Brazil. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be connected with you, Camille. And I invite everyone who has a small business or a large business, even if you have a large business, you should do it more.
Yeah.
You should devote more resources, the more you can, because we need to really step up as a global community to protect the nature that we have and to restore the nature because nature is everything and our communities are based on it, our well-being is based on it, and our economies are based on it. So,
Yeah.
we need nature and yeah, it's just so fun to be out here in nature and get to do the work that we do. So thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, I'm still forever grateful I met you, when our paths crossed a few years ago. I was like, and I was just, I was just like at that moment really looking for something because I felt so grateful. I was in Ibiza. I was like just after the pandemic, and I was like, wow, I get to do this wherever I want. I can work. But also like I was looking for something to give back. This I read about this
Hmm.
circular thing, whatever. I thought, oh, that's smart. Like you make money in the
Hmm.
planet, you help the planet, right? That's very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, like to make it circular. And then we met, and then it's like, boom, nice, good vibes, always like positive. And I think if we all do something positive, either with our business or with our actions daily, it will help in the end. It will help to generate this positive feedback loop that you were talking about. And yeah, I'm happy
Totally.
I found you. I know the donations are in good hands, and this is also this important for the whole world. What you say about the water in Brazil,
Yeah.
all the water, if it's melting everywhere, it's coming
Hmm.
here now in Valencia. No, we had this
Yeah.
situation, which is now in the UK there was a lot of like floods, and
Mhm.
it's It's scary because this is happening
Scary.
on a global scale more and more. And I think if we're not stepping up as a
Yeah.
community, as a society, to be a little bit more conscious about our behavior, our
Hmm.
consuming, our behaviors, and just literally, like my friend Sammy always says, you vote with your dollar, right? So
Yeah.
wherever you put your money is whatever
Hmm.
is going to happen to the planet. So, taking a little bit of my money every year and give it to you and seeing what you do, you're helping jaguars now, and you're empowering women. You're helping farmers.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's good to know that the money is well spent, and it makes me obviously feel really good about myself that the money is well spent. And I hope this will go on to my students, that they will also realize this, and whatever they're going to do in their lives, or if they're going to get successful, I hope they'll do the same, because in the end we're all going to need it, because otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be a wet situation, it's gonna be a hot situation, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah. It's
So
gonna be weird.
let's hope we're inspiring the whole world on that. And I want to really thank you for doing this, and yeah, and for presenting this in the way that only you can do it. And I'm really looking forward to see you again in the next year,
Yes.
South
Always
America.
count on us.